The coronavirus was initially thought to largely spare children, but now the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention warns the rate of coronavirus cases among children has been steadily increasing. A new report by the American Academy of Pediatrics finds almost 180,000 new cases of coronavirus among U.S. children over a 4-week period starting July 9th. That's a 90% increase. The CDC says transmission of the virus may have been reduced among children earlier in the pandemic because of school closures and lockdowns. Experts say increased testing, a rise in cases among the general population, and a return to summer camps and schools this summer could explain the spike in cases among children.
Fortunately, most children do not get very sick, and in fact, most children may be asymptomatic. But there is always a small proportion of children who do get sick.
While children rarely need to be hospitalized for COVID-19, the CDC says pediatric hospitalizations are increasing. 1 in 3 hospitalized children are admitted to the ICU. Most have underlying conditions. President Trump responded to the new data.
There may be a case, but it's also a case where there's a tiny fraction of death, tiny fraction, and they get better very quickly.
That is true, but children are not totally immune.
Yes, it's much less severe than it is in adults, particularly older adults. But we all have to take this virus seriously, including taking care of our children.
The new data comes as parents and educators are debating whether to return to school in person or remotely. There are many lingering questions, like what role children play in transmitting the virus. The data is ambiguous. A report out of South Korea suggests children under the age of 10 don't transmit the virus as often as adults. But another report finds that young children carry heavier viral loads than adults. It's unclear what that means they're more likely to pass on the virus. But what is clear is all this uncertainty is making reopening schools much more complicated. KARINA, CGTN, New York.